Hi, Richard Muse, Property Result. Today I'm in Hentley Hall and I'm looking at a property for one of our investors. She bought this last year and it became vacant, and since then it's been broken into in the void period and she's got some issues. Now, we always have an after service, we never leave people, so I agreed to come and have a look. So I'm just going to show you around and come back. Here we are, we're into the living room. I was had a look at this last week, and this is when I discovered it had been broken into. This is a nice property, it was in lovely condition when she bought it, but obviously the thieves have been in, and that is when I noticed. So the radiator's been pulled out. Noticed that something wrong here, and as I made my way into the kitchen, this is when we saw the damage. Now, I had to obviously call the police. They came in through the window. I've had that boarded up straight away. You can see they pulled the units out, pulled pipework off, pulled the radiator off, done everything else, and you can see in the top corner they pulled pipework out, tried, I think, to pull the boiler out. Now, when I called the police, we noticed that they'd obviously took the radiators off in the lounge, but they've took the stainless steel top out of the top of the kitchen unit, and they've left bits of copper pipe. So what we came to the conclusion was that they weren't the brightest thieves in the world, because anybody knows that copper is worth more than anything else, metal, scrap-wise, that they would have took that. So the police took it that it was kids, and then they've obviously took the unit, the wash basin off in the bathroom, broken a lot of tiles as it's gone along, and dumped it in the bath. So again, they've been at pulling wood off to try and get pipe out. They certainly haven't come prepared, and it's just, why cause all this mess? And all you take is a sink unit. But never mind, we've had the insurers out, the loss adjuster's just gone, and he's going to send his report over. He thinks that you see the pipework there, he thinks that the vendor might be underinsured. So this is another thing that you need to really check to make sure when you buy a property or ongoing insurance that you are correctly insured. What he did say was, there's no, by the way, there's no damage upstairs, so we'll not go up there. What he did say was that they do a simple measurement to come to the agreed a sum that the property should be insured for. Now, if she's insured by less than, say, 20% underinsured, then the claim is probably going to be knocked down by 20%. So if we get a, for instance, if we get a quotation for £5,000, then they're going to probably knock it down to 4,000 on the payout, so they're going to have to put something towards that. So that's a lesson that you've got to look at. So in summary, this is just to show you some of the problems you can incur with property. You must be very careful that you've got your property insured for the right amount. That's very, very important. And there is calculations that you can use off the website to do that. So because what is happening now is that obviously the loss adjuster has said, look, if she's in, this investor is underinsured, then they're going to obviously pay out less than what the quotation is. So for instance, if the quotation is £5,000, they're only going to pay out £4,000. So that's £1,000 the investor has to find, or, you know, so it's quite a bit of money. So you must check that up, and it's just One of these problems. It's unfortunate in this instance with this property that it's some kids that have jumped over a wall at the back, found out, known it's empty, and they've just caused damage for no reason, and all they've took is a sink unit top, which has hardly any value. So, like we said, they're not the brightest thieves in the world, but they have caused a lot of time wasted and a lot of damage. Now, I said when I noticed this the other day, I did report it to the police, waiting for them, got a crime number. They have since been back to the scenes of crime for fingerprints. Haven't had any response back from them to see if that's been successful or not. But let's hope they do find the people, because it's, you know, damage to property, anybody else's property, is a horrible thing to go through. So that's it. That's just one of the instances that, you know, we're showing you what happens in this situation.